Okay, it's one of those things. Sorry about that, guys. Is the network interrupted the other live and we lost it. But we are back here. We're back now. I'm so sorry. I'm seeing people lamenting. Like I said, this is our first live stream on YouTube. If you joined us the on Discord the last time, we didn't have this kind of issues. But we wanted to make it to be on YouTube because we wanted people to always refer back to the videos if they want to, in case they're having issue or maybe in future they want to go back to it. That's why we're doing it here on YouTube. But I guess YouTube have a whole lot of obstructions, and it's frustrating. I get it, but then bear with us. We are also facing the issues just the way you are facing it. Okay. So if you can hear me, please indicate on the chat section that you can hear me. Let's proceed quickly. I guess this is time is already far spent. But by the grace of God, we will complete what we have on the slide. And if you don't, you have the slide with you. So please indicate if you can hear me on the comment section, because I'll be starting this second part in 5 minutes time. So please indicate. Let's wait for other people to join. I'm so sorry for these inconveniences. But I promise you, if we cannot cover up everything we have here, we will definitely do it again. Thank you for indicating that you can hear me. Thank you, Tiago Des. Sorry. Okay. Welcome, 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 welcome. Sorry for that. Yeah, I guess someone said my screen is mirrored. So maybe you can see my screen now. I think someone can see my screen now. The last time. Wait, let's just go straight to the point. No wasting of time anymore. This is 9:45. I'm so sorry. Like I said initially, it is network interruption. And yes, in this part of the world where we are, you all know what we face with the network and the lighting and all that. But that is not an issue, and that is not supposed to be what we are banking on, not to progress with this life and not to progress with our daily activities in life. So that's that aside, we're gonna make sure we conquer. And yeah, like I said, once again, I'm sorry for that obstruction. It was a network. So, without wasting more time, I was talking about the building block of the web, and I'm almost done with that explanation. If you are with me in the previous session, you will hear what I'm saying. I was saying that without HTML and CSS, there will be no web. And yes, HTML and CSS is what bridges the gap between the front end and the back end, and also bridges the gap between your interface, what you see in a web page when you click on a web page, and the building block, like the machines and everything that was used to create it, which comprises of even both the front end and the back end. And the front end in this aspect is when it comes to React and JavaScript. Without HTML and CSS, your React cannot work, your JavaScript cannot be powered, and yes, your back end cannot function. So yeah, so without wasting much time, let's quickly rush to what is www. You know what www? You see www in your everyday activity when you're going on the web. Sometimes they say it could be www dot whatever site you're going to. Yeah, forget about the screen. Like I've shared the slide already. So let's not allow that screen to interrupt us. My community manager is just saying that she can still see my screen, but that's not a problem. Let's not allow that to interrupt the session. We'll look for a way around it in the next class, which is going to be on Monday. We promise that the next class will be a whole lot better. Yeah, by the grace of God. So if you are with the slide, I'm currently on the page number 4 that talks about what is www. www simply means the World Wide Web. I am explaining all this. I know I'm not supposed to be coming to starting from this part, but I know why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for those people who don't even have any understanding of what the web is all about. Talk more of now talking about programming. So this is going to be like refreshing their memory, or better to giving them a breakdown of what the web is all about before we even go straight to what um programming is, what front end is, and the rest of them. So yeah, sorry for the little distractions. I have to check my chat to know what you guys are experiencing. Okay, you have to know what you guys are experiencing. So fantastic. Like I said, on the first slide, I said the internet is a network of networks, a global system of interconnected computer networks that links billions of devices worldwide. Yeah. Some of the devices that the internet in general links worldwide is YouTube, like we are on now. There's Facebook, there's Apple, there's Twitter, and the rest of them. These are most of the sites, most of the devices, most of the applications that the is internet, which is the World Wide Web, links. Okay, so also wrote here that the World Wide Web is an application, a service that uses the internet infrastructure to deliver web pages, film sharing, and email services. So you have the slide. You check more on that later, and you can also go. Why I gave this slide, definitely the slide is not all that it is about this program, all that it is about the HTML and CSS, or all that it is about the web in general. But why you have been given a slide is for you to have an understanding. And if you have any challenges and if you want to learn more, you can always go back to use the slide, check it out, and also use it to browse the internet to get more knowledge. Okay, so yeah. So for we are now on the HTML. Okay, so people are still saying they cannot see my screen. Let that not let that not okay, still not that clear, but no problem. Don't let that distract you guys. So I am currently on the part of the slide that says I'm currently on the part of the slide that says HTML. Yeah, we are currently on HTML right now. So guys, let's focus. The screen sharing disappointed us, but that does not mean we will not continue the live. Yeah, sure. So we are currently on the part that says HTML. So this is the topic of the day, getting started with HTML. Okay. So the HTML, the full meaning of HTML is hypertext markup language. That is what it is. So HTML primarily functions HTML primarily function is to define the structure of a document using a tag system. So, what is a tag system? I guess I'm going to write all this down because I was hoping to share my screen with you, like to share my um, Visual Studio Code with you. But now that we cannot see my screen, that is not going to be possible. Okay, maybe in the next class I might just share it with you if we figure out what other sites we're going to be using for this class. But yeah, like I said, the full meaning of HTML is hypertext markup language, which is primarily the function to define the structure of a document using a tags. These tags, I also define what tags is at some part of the slide. So we are getting there. So we also said that HTML is originally used to create content and apply style functions to web page. Yeah. So like I said in the first part, I'm always directing you to what I said. Yeah, in case you are where you didn't follow at the initial part. So what HTML does, like I said initially, is that without HTML, you cannot there will be nothing like the web. So that is what it's saying here, that HTML is used to style information to the web page. So all those write-ups you see where you open a website, you see welcome to so 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 and so website. All those things were written by HTML. All those things were written by HTML. Every write up you see on a web page was written by HTML. If it was not directly written by HTML, they used HTML in maybe they use HTML in a configured manner. Maybe they use it to, like when we're coming to React, we're going to show you how React uses HTML. So every programming language have the way they uses HTML, have the way they interact with HTML. But mind you, to let you know that HTML is always needed. They might tweak it in a way that will favor the language, the programming language, but it is still HTML. Okay, so HTML is used to style the web page that you see. Previously, there was nothing like CSS, it was just HTML. But as time progressed, now came CSS. So, yeah, so let me read it as it was written here. HTML is originally used to create content and apply style information to web page. It defines which parts of a document are heading, paragraph, table, etc., and can be used to define how each section is presented. So there is something they call the heading of an HTML page. There's also what they call paragraph. There's also what they call tables. Okay, so I am so sad that this um live screen is not showing my screen. I think the screen is trying to come up because my PM is just telling me now that my screen is black, to show you that this screen is trying to come up. That is the annoying part. It is trying to come up, but I think it takes so much time, and that's too bad because I am seeing my screen here and you guys can't see it. That's to tell you, if the screen is black, it's trying to tell you that the screen is trying to power up. That's a good style. So if you're understanding what I'm saying, guys, let me see. Oh my god, someone just said it is up now. I just stopped sharing. Oh, oh my god. I just stopped sharing my screen just now, and someone is telling me it is up. You know what? Let me share it again. I'm glad that it is up. That's to show you that we have hope. It is network. It's network. Like network from different regions that we are that is obstructing this. That is so sad. So that means I'm going to show you the practical of what I'm talking about, and I'm so excited that we can come to a part where we can see my screen, because without my screen I don't think I'll be able to express myself very well to you, because I need to share my Visual Studio Code. I need to show you how to get Visual Studio Code installed in your system if you don't already have it. So I just stopped and shared again, so you might not see it again. It might take some time again. Yeah, I just stopped it and shared it again, because what I was sharing before was just the slide, and now I'm sharing the entire screen. It's just going to be showing, it's going to take some time before it comes back again. So while we are still waiting for the screen to come back, please exercise patience with me while I continue explaining. Okay, I think the community manager can see the screen. She can still see the screen. Oh, great. Let me know what you're seeing on the screen. CM, send me a screenshot of what you can see now. This is distracting, this is obstructing us, but what can we do? CM, can you quickly send me a screenshot of what you can see on my screen now? So guys, um, since we now know how this thing works, what I have to do next time is to share my screen maybe 15 minutes before the live. Yeah. So that is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to be doing now. So we learn every day. And since it behaved like this today, before we start any live again, I have to share my screen. Okay, great. My screen is showing. Perfect. I've learned I've learned what is cooking. How will I put it? Before I start any live again, or before the back end developer start any live, he's going to share his screen 15 minutes to the time, So when you get on board, it will not now be, have you seen my screen? Have you not seen my screen? Which is very, very annoying and distracting. I know the first day sometimes is always like this. So bear with us. Like I said, we are very sorry for all these inconveniences and for taking most of your time to fix ourselves, fix our screen, and the rest of them. But we promise you that going forward, we will do better. And yeah, we have to use the devices we have. Most there are other sites we can use, but most of them are paid. And we are still a community that is coming up. We cannot start using paid tools while we are still coming up. Thank you for someone just said on the chat that the screen is not visible. So with time, that's why we encourage you all to follow us on our Twitter handle and the rest of them. Follow us and follow us on our YouTube. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Yeah, because this is the only means we have now to do this. And now that we've seen how it works, it takes time to show the screen. So we will always show you the screen. We'll always share our screen 15 minutes or 30 minutes before the class starts. So thank you guys. Thank you as many as you that are still with us here and still live. I bet you no knowledge is a waste and you will not regret joining this live and you will not regret joining us here. So let me go back to what I was saying. Let me go back to what I was talking about, the HTML. So like I said here, HTML, I'm on this third point where I said HTML is originally used to create content and apply styles information to the web page. It defines which part of the document is the header, the paragraph, and the rest of them. But before I go further, I would like to take you to Visual Studio Code. That was what I wanted to do before because my screen was not showing. I couldn't do that. So let me know if you know what Visual Studio Code is. Indicate on the chat, please. If you know what Visual Studio Code, if you already have Visual Studio Code installed, let me know, guys. Let me know, let me know, let me know. So I'm going to go and check what you said on the comment section. Thank you. We've passed that stage of it's visible or it's not visible. Yeah. So let's know I asked the question. If you already have Visual Studio Code installed, let me know. Okay, great. Most people have it. Most people know what it is, and most people have it installed already. Great. So we are going to be going to Visual Studio Code. If you don't already know, don't worry. We will teach you how to get it installed on your devices, on your laptop. Yeah. But now I want to go to Visual Studio Code to teach you what I was talking about. So this is Visual Studio Code. Let me create a file or a folder for this our lecture. I didn't want to already create a folder before starting. I wanted to do it with you guys so you will know how it works. I think I have to let me close it and power it back. Just power this again. And I'm going to be creating a new folder and I'm going to be creating it right from here. So if you want to follow me, go ahead. But if you want to stay and watch me, fine and good. And I encourage you to stay and watch before going ahead to create yours. We're going to do it together. We're going to learn together. We'll learn every day. We're going to make the mistakes together. So you see that in future, when you're working or you're programming, if you make mistakes, it is not a bad thing. It's just for you to build up on the mistake you've made and continue progressing. Okay. So it's been long. I won't lie to you. It's been long. I created a folder or a file from this part of the Visual Studio Code. I always go to my system, my document, create it first, and open it here. But I'm doing it like this for you today. So let's go. Open. Okay. Let's go to my document and let's create a new folder. You can see where my cursor is going, and I want to be fast about it. We've spent a whole lot of time doing this. So I'm going to call this new folder um, Spread Tech Africa, Spread Tech Africa's front end track. Okay, it's going to be, because we're still going to be using this folder as time goes on. So I've created the folder. You can see the folder is already on the list here. So inside the folder now, inside the folder, I'm going to create another folder, which is going to be the folder we're going to be using for this class today. And I'm going to call it HTML and CSS. Let's just leave it at HTML and CSS. So we've created the folder. So this is the folder we're going to be opening on our Visual Studio Code. And as you can see, I'm clicking on the open button here. I might be slow, but I know why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to carry everybody along. And yeah, like I said, it's been long I created it from this direction, and I still have it on my mind, on my head, so that's not a problem. So we're going to be creating the HTML file, which is when you come here, you click on file. I know everybody knows, most people, I won't say everybody because this is a beginner class, most people know what you use when you want to create an HTML. Most time they use index. So this is our HTML um, file. So when you want to generate your elements on your HTML, there's an easy way to do that. There's a shortcut to do that. And how to do that on your laptop or on your desktop on the keyboard, click on colon. This is colon, right? You can do colon is on my Mac. I'm using a MacBook, and colon here is on top of one, on top of the one key. So it's going to be shift colon. You know how it is on your laptop, so you know how to get there on your laptop. So when you do colon, then you click on tab on your keyboard. It will now automatically generate the element, HTML elements. I didn't want to now go and start creating it from the scratch, putting all the tags and all that. It's going to waste our time. Our time is already far gone, and we're going to be ending this class at exactly 11, and then sharing the notes. If we cannot cover everything, because yeah, the back end person is going to be coming up by 11:30, and we don't want to eat into his time, and we promise we want to keep time. So any other question you have, feel free to ask it on the chat. That's why we went to WhatsApp. Okay. I want to quickly go and check the comment section to see what you guys are doing or saying. Yeah. Thank you, Peculiar. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask. I I might digress to check what you're saying on the chat. That is why my VS code is no longer showing. Okay, good. So yeah, let me know if you're with me on this last thing I just did now, because this is not on the slide. Okay, this particular thing is not on the slide because we won't put everything on the slide. That is why we have a live video, and that was why I was troubled when the live was not showing my screen, because I know a whole lot of things I'm going to be doing. I'll be doing it, and it might not be on the slide. So let me know on the comment section if you were with me and if you understand what I just did now. Great, thank you so much. I think it's Gelly hair. So I'm going to be calling you what you already saved your YouTube account as. It might not be your name, but that's what I'm seeing. So yeah, I'm glad that we are all following, even though we are not as much as we are before. Someone say my screen is so far. Please, okay. Can you see it now? Is it still that far? Okay, I have to zoom my HTML. Oh my god. That's another thing, oh. That's another one. Let me see if I can do that like this. Is it better now? I just zoomed it. Might take a few minutes to reflect there since this network is trying to show us that. Let me know your code and see if, please let me know if you can see it zoomed now. It's better now, please. I'm gonna go back to check what you said on the comment section, so it might not show my Visual Studio Code again. Great. Thank you, Chinemerem. Thank you for always updating me on what is going on. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you all. I mean, not only her, but I guess she's almost the first person that always says that. Okay, yeah. So this is what I did. Someone just asked the question. I don't know what the person. Let me go back and check that question. I'm not supposed to be answering questions now because we don't have time again. Someone just asked a question. Please be focused, guys. You can ignore the slide for now. Okay. I think someone said when pressing the tab, should you still be pressing the colon? No, 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 no. You don't need to press the colon. Just press colon. It could be shift colon on your end, or it could be control colon to get to colon. Once there's a colon there, you click on tab. And before you do that, I forgot to tell you that before you can be able to access this feature in your VS Studio Code, your Visual Studio Code, you have to have it installed. You have to install the extension. There are quite a whole lot of extensions here. I think the extension to make this work for you is the imminent. They call it imminent or something. So to get an extension, you come to this part of your Visual Studio Code where my cursor is now. Is where you will come to. When you click on it, you now go to, I think it's immense. If I get that right, yeah, immense. You can install anyone. Let me see if there's a particular one for HTML. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you can install this online HTML, or you can install this immense commenting. Yeah, you can install any one of them. That is what it's gonna enable you to access this feature where you click on tab, where you click on column and tab, and it will automatically bring out HTML. There's a whole, you can even check it online. You can Google it. And another thing I encourage you guys on this class is let Google be your best friend. They always say this to developers, but most of them don't take it at heart. Let Google always be your best friend. Whatever issue you have, make sure you try and solve it first. And how do you try and solve it first? Try and Google it first. And if you find out that you're not being able to get the right answer, then you can now go on and ask us, or ask of the person that is teaching you at any point in your journey. Okay, make sure you try and Google it first, because the Google, they tell developers, and it is the truth, the very truth. The Google is always supposed to be your best friend. Okay, because almost everything you're looking for is in Google. But then when you try and Google it and solve it, and you see that you cannot solve it, feel free to always ask. But it's always good to try and Google it first, because it helps you to it helps it stick more. Like when you solve a problem by yourself, sometimes I don't know for other people, but when I encounter a problem or a bug on my code and I try and solve it first, it sticks more to my brain than when I just rush to someone and tell them to show me the way or teach me how to do it, or better still do it for me. Okay, yeah. So let's go back to the slide. We've just created an HTML um, element here. This All these are HTML elements. This right here is the body of the HTML. This right here is where most of what we are going to be doing is going to be coming up. Okay, this is the body of the HTML. So this is where our write up is going to be coming up. So let me quickly go back to the slide. So, like the slide was talking about on this third point, where it says that HTML originally uses is used to create content and apply style information to web pages. It defines which part of a document is the head and the paragraph. That was why I came to Visual Studio Code to show you what a head tag is and what a paragraph tag is. Okay, so for today, I'm going to be showing you what a head tag is and what a paragraph tag is. But for the table and the rest, you're going to go back. I have a whole lot of links here that will help enable you to go back and learn that. So I'm trying to be fast now because the time is fast spent. So this is what H1 is. Funny enough, right? It's been long I used all this, but I'm so happy I'm doing it with you guys live. So you guys will see my struggles too. And know that when you're doing things and you encounter a struggle, it is not a bad thing. So there's also when you go to this extension and get the image extension that helps you get this element, yeah, it's also going to help you show you some of the things, some of the um tags when you're trying to write it. It's going to show you some of the tags. So like this right here is the H1 tag. Let me click on tab. Okay. So when you close it, this is how it is. This is H1 tag. This is a header tag. Header tag has different numbers, and what those numbers signifies is the size of the header. Okay, there's head. I think there's H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6 or thereabouts. But this H1 I think is the highest. We can let's even do it here. Let's say I believe you know all know what S stars is now. SpreadTech Africa AS stars is now. So let's power this. There are different ways to power this page. Okay, there are different ways to power it. Let me. Somebody just sent a message on the chat. I like to go with messages. I like to know where you guys are. If I'm not checking your chats here on YouTube, I'm checking. So what is this person saying? This person is saying something totally different. Are you sure you're following us on this live? Who is AVVA4LLL? You're not following us because you're saying something different here on the WhatsApp. I quickly went to the WhatsApp to check if somebody asked a question or if somebody is not seeing my screen. But I'm shocked that he is saying something totally different. So try and follow, please. Okay. Sorry for that small obstruction. I want to go back. I want to check your chat. That was why I digressed. But I'm now going back to Visual Studio Code to continue what I was saying. So if you're that person I called, try and focus, please. Before you take, there are two ways to power this, right? There are two ways to check online, or better, to check on your web browser what you have written on your code editor. Before you do that, make sure you save your work. And how to save your work? You could save it using Control S, or you could come here where my cursor is and click on Save All, or just save, right? But before then, how you're gonna know that you don't have how you're gonna know that your work are not saved? When you come on this Explorer here, you see this part that has to do with file. I think this is a file icon. You see the number. Okay, it's showing me here now that number one of my file is not saved, which is the only file we have here, and it's the HTML file. So I don't plan to waste time here, but Let me quickly, I'm just showing you in case you don't have any idea. So I just saved it right. In order, a way, if you want to take it to your browser, you can always click and copy. You can always click and copy. Let me see, copy part, right? Copy part, yeah. When you copy part, you go to your browser, open a new tab. Let me quickly close all these things I have here. Go to your browser, open a new tab, and paste it. Paste what you copied. You saw how I copied it, right? And click on go. You see what we wrote on the Visual Studio Code is what is live here. So at this point, please let me indicate on the comment section or on the WhatsApp if you are with me. Okay, let me know I'm talking to people. I'm not talking to myself. But let me know if the internet is still connected. Are you guys still with me? Can you still hear me? Is the internet still connected? Please let me know. Let me know. Great. Thank you. Oh, great. Thank you, guys. Okay. So I hope you saw how that showed on my browser. Another way you can do that is by coming on this on your VS Code. You see under it you see go live, and that's the way I use. That is what I normally use. Okay, because when you do it here, when you use this go live, which is an extension of Visual Studio Code that helps your page go live, you don't have to now um, refresh your browser whenever you make changes. It automatically does that for you. Let's try and go live. Okay, you can see when I clicked on go live, it went live. This was the first one we did here, where we copied the part and pasted it on our browser. This is the second one where we went live. It will automatically come to your default browser and show what you have on your Visual Studio Code there. So yeah, I was supposed to show you um, all the H1 tags, but I'm going to leave that for you to go and explore. Check it out. Maybe that's going to be your first assignment for the class. Go and check out the remaining H1 tags. I know there are six or thereabouts. There's H1, there's H2, there's H3, there's H4. Check it. Use your Studio Code to do it just the way I did it here. Screenshot it and post it. It's going to be one of your assignments, right? Your first assignment, that's your first assignment. So take note. This is not on the slide. I'm just giving it to you here. So if you can hear me and if you are here, write it down somewhere that I said the first assignment I'm giving you for this class that's going to be reviewed on Monday is for you to create a file on Visual Studio Code, create an HTML file, generate the element, and write H1 tags. Write all the H tags we have from H1 to H2 to H3 and launch it on your browser, screenshot it, and you're going to post that on your social media handle. Yeah, I said that because that is what the other assignment too. You're going to post it on your social media handle. You're going to screenshot it and post it while you tag our handles, okay? And that is how we're going to know that you did this assignment. The assignment I'm giving you today, the two assignments I'm giving you today, which this one is the first one, you have to post it on your Twitter or your LinkedIn and tag us. Say what you've learned today and tag us, okay? And that is how we are going to rate it. That's how we're going to mark it. Don't post it on WhatsApp. We don't need it on the WhatsApp. We need to see it on your we need to see it on your social media handle. If you don't do that, then we don't have your first assignment. We're sorry. Okay, so let me quickly go back and let me quickly go to the next slide. Still have a lot to cover. So yeah, this is what we just covered. Just about using tag properly. So it said HTML is made up a series of predefined tags. Which one of them is what we just saw now? The H1 tag, which is the header tag, which are indicated by triangular braces. Yeah, it's talking about this. It's talking about these braces here. The tags are indicated by these braces, this right here, upside down. So that's what we're talking about here. So it also talked about the p tag. The p tag, I've not treated that, but let's quickly um talk about the p tag. Let me quickly write this is what the p tag is all about. This is the p tag here, but let me show you on the Visual Studio Code. Okay, just the same way we wrote h1. Yeah, so this is the paragraph. Make sure you close your paragraph. If you don't already have an email that autocompletes your paragraph when you're creating it, make sure you always mindful of closing your paragraph. So like you see now, it's showing us that we have one unsaved. Save it. Most people don't save. Sometimes they just do and try and go live. Meanwhile, their work is not saved. Their work is not saved. So make sure you save your work. So I'm going live again. You can see this is it. The p tag is now showing here. Okay, so I think that will be all I'm going to be doing in this page. So you go and read it and learn more. So yeah, it's talking about attributes. Okay, this is a whole new level. This is a whole. I wouldn't want to push you guys to do more on attributes on this live. I wouldn't want to push you to do more attributes on this. If we want to start attribute now, we're not gonna finish this session in the next 30 minutes. Okay, attribute talks about what attribute is talking about here. It's called attributes. It's indicated. The tag is a tag. Okay, and that's what they call this href here. It connects like one page to another. Let's say you want to see what you have on one html page on another html page, you can use attribute to connect them. That's what they have here. That's what they have here. I would have loved to do that, but I want to quickly go to css. And also, when we are done with css, we might come back to talk about the attributes. But yeah, like I said, I have links I um that are on the last slide on W3 School, where you can further go and expand your knowledge on these things I have here on the slide. Because these things I have here on the slide are the most important points. You might go to W3 Skill and you might see a whole bunch of stuff. If you want to read it, fine and good, you can go and read it. But I gave you the basics that can help you to understand what I'm saying going forward. And okay, this is a simple practical here. Building your first web page. Funny enough, we've already done this practical on the VS Code. So yeah, it's saying okay. So this is what we just did. We just explained what um this part of the document talked about: the tags, the p tag, the h tag, and what tags are used for. Tags are needed to be opened and closed, like you said here. Make sure you close your tag when you are done, and and opening tag looks like this. Yeah, it's showing you what an opening tag looks like, and a closed tag looks like this. A closed tag always has this forward slash at the front of it. Okay, yeah. Tags must be nested, that is, open and close in the correct order. So you must open and close your tag on the correct order. Don't go and put this thing here. Let's say when you come to your tags now, instead of putting this here, you now go and put it here. It won't work. It's already even showing you red to show you that it will not work. So make sure you put your tags the right way. Oh, sorry. Make sure you put your tags the right way to enable it to work perfectly. So now we are in HTML, we are in CSS, sorry. So yeah, introduction to web layout with CSS. CSS in a nutshell is what gives, let me say in a layman's word, let me say I'm explaining it now to a 5 years old. I would say CSS is what gives your HTML a meaning, kind of. It is what beautifies your HTML. Yeah, like you see what we did here. It is hanging on one side of the screen. When you introduce CSS to this, you can be able to push this around. Okay, you can be able to push this around. You can be able to put this hellos SCA stars on the middle. You can be able to um put the margin well, put the padding and all that to make it appear well. You can be able to put the good color for it, whatever color you want to make it, whatever color you would like to appear on. You can be able to do that with CSS. So let's quickly read what we have here for CSS. CSS, full term of CSS is called cascading style sheet. Cascading style sheet. Yeah. So it defines the look and formatting of your web documents. Like I said initially, that's what it does. It defines the look and the formatting of your web pages. Um, Designed to separate document content from presentation. This is all talking about how it refines your HTML. You cannot design HTML with HTML. You would definitely need a CSS to give it. Read the history of web page. You see that HTML came out first. People were using HTML just like that, and it was looking so rough and all that before they discovered CSS that helped us style it. And CSS now has a whole lot of framework that will make your styling of CSS faster. There is Bootstrap, there is Tailwind, there is I think Material UI Design that you can use to make CSS more easy to use. But without CSS, your HTML will look so rough, or it will just look so, yeah, to look so rough. It won't come out well. So yeah, um that's basically it. It helps to create visually engaging web pages, improves accessibility, and allows for adaptive web page for mobile platforms. So what it's trying to tell you here is CSS can make your HTML to be interactive in both your mobile and your web. Yeah, you can have your web looking something like this, and on your mobile you can have it looking, you can have it on maybe the middle. And how you can achieve that is by using CSS. There's something they call I think interactive um design in CSS, or is it called flexbox? I think it's flexbox, where you can use it to make your CSS or your website to be compatible on both mobile and web. Most people don't use mobile app technologies anymore to even build mobile app. You know, that's what they call mobile app, where you use mobile app technologies like they have React Native for mobile app and all that, but you can still make a website to look like a website and also a mobile app using CSS. All this is done through CSS and most CSS frameworks. So it is left for you to go and study deep on this, because like I said, this class is an introductory class. So it's left for you to go and study on how to make your CSS to be interactive on both mobile and web. And it's very easy. When you go online now, you see it everywhere. And I believe this link I have given you will also have something like that. So HTML is for defining structural elements of a web page, while CSS is for defining the style, good practices to separate the two. Okay, it's defining the style, making it look better, making you have good practice when you're creating your web and the rest of them. So here it talks about the benefits of CSS. Style rules can be applied to multiple pages. So what this is saying here is that one of the benefits of CSS is that you can have just one CSS file and have multiple HTML files. And that same that one CSS file that you have, you can set a rule for it to be able to power all the HTML pages that you have. Okay, so let's say you just have only one CSS file, and then you have multiple HTML file. You can just use that one CSS to be able to interact with multiple HTML files that you have. I'd like to do that here, but I'm going to try and do that before, if we still have time after going through all this. So changes can be made on one CSS file rather than multiple HTML files. Like, you see what it says here. Let me quickly see what you guys are saying. Okay, great. Can hear me. Thank you. So yeah, I said here on the slides that you can make changes on just one CSS file rather than making changes on multiple HTML file. With time, as you create websites, you will get to see what this will make more sense to you, because when you create a CSS, when you create multiple HTML page, some people do what they call inline styling on HTML, which is a very, very bad practice when you're doing HTML. I really wish I can show you all that, but yeah, I definitely can. This live is going to end very soon. So there are what they call inline. Most of you will know it, but if you don't know it, it's fine. You can always Google it. Like I said, keep and write down what I am saying that you're not familiar with, so you can always go back and Google it. That's what they call inline HTML. That when you design your HTML on your HTML page, you will not go there and be putting the styles. That is bad practice. Make sure you have an HTML page for your styling. And what this and second point is saying here is that you can make change it to only one HTML CSS file rather than making a multiple HTML file. Because when you do an inline styling, when you put your styling on one HTML in between the lines of an HTML page, you go to another HTML page, you put the same thing, you go to another HTML, you put the same thing. It's bad. You can do that with just one CSS file and calling the CSS file on those HTML pages. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna show you how to do that shortly. Sorry for the noise on my background. I'm in my house, so yeah. So browsers retain a copy of CSS, speeding up load time. Yeah. So the browser is saying here that the browser retains the copy of the CSS, speeding up loading time. So let's say, for instance, you have just one CSS file that you are calling on multiple HTML pages. When your browser loads, your browser already has that CSS file in memory. Okay. This noise is too much. Oh my god. No, no, don't make noise. Don't make noise. Don't make noise. I'm busy. I'm sorry for that. This holiday is not easy on us. Children are making noise. So yeah, that aside, um, I was explaining in this second point where you talked about having one HTML file to multiple, having one CSS file to multiple HTML pages. It's still like trying to let you know on this third point that this browser of yours retains a copy of your HTML, your CSS on memory. So let's say you have only one CSS file and your browser retains it in memory. It helps. Shh, it helps your page to on your website to be more faster in terms of, because this browser already has it in memory, it will now not waste time in loading your HTML when the time comes. Okay. I think I think the previous day of our classes will be much better because this is weekend and these kids are not allowing me to even understand myself. So yeah, if you're with me, let me know on the comment section. Let me know if you're with me. Okay, so it also says here that CSS can allow for responsive web design on different platforms, desktop, mobile, and tablets. Just like I told you, there's what they call interactive this thing design on CSS. It's mostly done with Flexbox, and can also be done with other CSS frameworks like the Tailwind and the Bootstrap and the rest of them. I encourage people to I encourage people to learn HTML and CSS first before going into front end full time. Most mistakes that front end developers do that affects them in future, or better still affects their career, is jumping protocols. I'll call it jumping protocols because what most people do, I have worked with people who didn't have understanding of HTML and CSS. Some of them doesn't even have an understanding of JavaScript, and they are already doing React. It affects your journey so badly, and it affects your work, your scope, your design, and everything. If you don't already start here, that is why I'm taking the time to make sure I lay a foundation, no matter how small, on HTML and CSS. Someone saying that yeah, someone is saying she's experiencing network issue. So sorry about that. Thank God this is on YouTube. Once you have the link, you can always go back and watch it. I think is the network issue from me? Can other people are other people experiencing network issues? Where are you connecting from? You that's experiencing network issue. Where are you connecting from? You have the slide, and yeah, you can always go back to this live to watch it if you are experiencing network issues now. Okay? Nobody is saying they have network issues again. Someone is saying the network is okay on their end. Okay? Sorry about that. Can always go back to the live. That is why it's here on YouTube. Okay? So I was explaining the fourth point, which I have already said something like that before. It's saying that CSS allows for responsive web design. CSS is good. It allows for responsive web design, um, where you can be able to access a website perfectly on the web, and when you also access that website on your phone, it will still show very well. It will still be showing everything that it has on the web, on the tablet or on the phone. That is another dimension of CSS, which is the responsive CSS design. And that is going to also be on the link that I sent to you to further learn. Okay, so they say there's something that says here separating HTML and style element improves accessibility, particularly for readers using page reader application. What it's saying here is what I already explained previously. Having a page or a file for your HTML elements, and also having a page and is for your or file for your CSS. Don't do inline styling, please. Don't do inline styling. It is not accepted with HTML and CSS, and I don't think it's accepted on other on going forward on your journey of being a front-end developer. Make sure that you have a file for CSS alone, and you have a file for HTML. Yeah. Okay, so this is something different. This is just talking about styling, introduction to web layout CSS. So it's talking about this particular design I have here. This is a CSS. See the way CSS made this design look here. Without CSS, you cannot put this color. Without CSS, you cannot put this design and make it look like this. Okay, so it's talking about this CSS Zen garden here. So look at a few of the different layouts, and also use the um, developer function that I show you. Okay, yeah, this is a totally different thing. This is, I'm not going to give you this as a take home assignment. It's going to be too much for you. So I'm just asking you here, what do you notice about this design? You can see that the HTML for these different layouts have been designed. They are looking different. Everything is being structured because of the introduction of CSS. Okay, so let's go to selectors and declarations. So it's trying to let us know here that CSS rules it contains selectors. That's what they call CSS selectors, and that's what they call CSS declarations. Okay, like it's this H1 tag here now is a selector. This is a declaration. Let me quickly just do something for you. Think talking wouldn't really help your understanding. Let me quickly show you something. Let's quickly do a little bit of styling. What's the time now? I think we can do a little bit of styling on our Visual Studio Code. Okay. Come in, let me quickly check something online. As you can see what I'm doing now? I'm Googling it, okay? Like I told you initially, I am a front-end developer, but it's been long I did something like with CSS. So see what I'm Googling, how to put your CSS in your HTML page. So just this is just to let you know that the Google is your best friend when you're doing anything. When you're lost, when you're trying to do something and you're lost, come to Google, okay? I already created a CSS page. I'm trying to link it to my HTML. So let's quickly see. Okay. Guess it should be something like this. Okay, I'm seeing that some people have questions. Hold on, we'll answer your questions in few minutes. I think we'll give 5 minutes to answer questions. Okay, yeah, so as you can see, I have added the CSS style. So let's quickly do a small CSS trick here. Please let me know if you are still with me. Okay, save, and let's go back to our browser and see what it looks like now. So you can see what I have on my browser, right? We just gave the we just gave our H1 tag a different color. You can't see my screen. Oh my god. Why? Who else can see my screen? Okay, but I cannot see it. Wow, my screen is gone again. Can you see my screen now? Oh, thank God. All these things are network interruption, and it's too bad that we're having it here. Okay, great. So let me quickly go back to what I did. That means I have to let me just clean everything and do it again. Please, can you all see my screen now? Great. Someone said, that's kidding. You guys are funny. Okay, let me quickly go back to show you what I just did. Perfect. Okay, this is VS Code. I hope you saw when I created a style .css file, which is used for designing your HTML page. What I've been explaining since, that it's better for you to create a file for your styling rather than doing inline styling. What inline styling is coming into this tag now and writing style. It is not good. I'm not going to even teach you how that is done, so you cannot start doing that. Yeah. But maybe moving forward, you see, maybe when we go to React, you see the way React does theirs, but that does not mean you're going to do it for HTML. So people create full website with just HTML and CSS without even learning React and the rest of them. I want you to have a best practice for the one that you know. Okay, so you know that I know this and I know it very well. Not that you know it haphazardly. You're doing what you're not supposed to do in it. So this is the CSS style I created, and how to add your CSS to your HTML is this. You also when I went also when I went online to refresh my memory on how to add a CSS to an HTML file. That was why I told you initially. I want to learn. I'm doing this with you. I'm not going to write a code already and start pointing it to you and teaching you. I want to do it with you so you see how it is being done. Okay. When you forget something, go online and quickly check it. Maybe moving forward, you might see me writing code, already pre-write code and explaining it to you. Maybe that is when we don't have time. Okay, but for this short lecture of HTML and CSS, I really want to do it with you live so you see how I am struggling too, to show you that in future, or maybe in when you start doing yours and you start struggling, you will not just dump everything. I have a lot of people I started coding with. Maybe they encounter some issues, or maybe they are confused. They might just drop the career and they are frustrated. Okay, but this is me doing it with you to tell you that whenever you have issues or whenever you forget something, Google is your best friend. Yeah. So this right here is how to attach your CSS file to your HTML. Yeah. Like I said, if you're coding along with me, you might have to pause and watch me do it so you can always do it later. This video is on YouTube so that you can always go back to it and refresh your memory. Okay, so we're looking at what it says here on the slide where it talked about where did it say that thing? I think it's here. Yeah, when we're talking about selectors and declarations. So I want to show you what selectors and declarations is. So this right here for HCM and CSS rule consists of a selector and a declaration. This right here, this H1 you have here, which is a tag on the HTML. On CSS, we will call this a selector. And what does that mean? That means that this is what you can use to be able to point to that H1 tag you have there on your HTML to be able to design it. If you don't write this here, your design, or better still, your style that you are trying to write on your CSS will not be able to show that it is on that particular H1 tag that you're trying to design. Let me quickly do it so to not just be that I'm talking. So, like it said, the selector here it said it's H1, right? So we are writing H1. Mind you, if this was, if this right here, which is select, which is the tag, if this tag right here is H2, what you're going to write here on your CSS is going to be H2, not H1. Okay, that is to show you that you're picking the right selector. So on on you can see here, it even wrote it here. It said selector. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, so this is the selector. Then the declaration is you have to put the declaration into these curly braces. This is where the declaration comes in. The declaration is okay. Now that you have written the selector, what is the design you want to do on the HTML? So now we have picking the selector. We want to let's put a color. Let's give it another color. Let's say now we want our H1 tag to be red color. You know, it's already. Let me show you what it is here. Sorry, this is when I designed it previously. I think I have to. Let me go back. You all know it was black before, right? Let me remove this thing I have here. Okay, and save. I've saved it, but let's go back to. We don't have any style here again. No, we don't have any style here. Now see what our see what we have here. It's black. Okay, it's black. So let's give it a style. Let's style it to be red. Let's give it a style. And how you can do that is putting your selector, which is H1. We are trying to style H1 tag. So the selector for it is going to be H1. Then putting a color. Let's say our color now. Let's say our color is let's pick brown. I mean let's make it blue. Let's make it blue. So you have to come and save it. You can do Control S on your keyboard or you come here and save it. When you save it, let's go back now and check what you can now see. This is the color has changed. Let me see what you're saying. The color has changed. Please let's focus. Let's see WhatsApp now. Let's be on the live. We have few minutes to go. Just very few minutes. Great. You can see now that the color has changed. Okay, that is what styling does to you. There is a whole lot of styling, but yeah, like I said, I shared a link with you to check more. You can start it and put this in the center. Let me see. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. Let's give it a margin. Let's say we give it a margin. These are I'm just giving rough styles to show you how you can use style to change the location of your style. Okay, when you are ready to go to a Reels website, you can always check. I think there's W3 School, or better still, there is a guide on Flexbox where you can see where you can do other styles. Okay, this is just testing. Yeah, what this style I did here, um, how we moved the 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 elements around. That is what CSS does. That is what CSS does. So I'm going to stop here because, like I said, this is going to is CM. Give us the first assignments. That's write the first assignments I talked about on the community on the WhatsApp group, because that one just came to mind and I just dished it out. But this is the assignment I already have for you here. So it said create a simple HTML and styling. Let me put HTML and style. That is HTML and CSS and CSS style. Create a simple HTML style using CSS. Yeah, HTML and CSS. The page should say the following: Spread Africa Bootcamp finally begun. Yeah. Drum rolls. We didn't even do drum rolls, though. We're busy battling with internet wahala and no screen showing, screen not showing. Drum rolls, guys. At least we made it this far, even though we had all those obstructions at the beginning. So yeah, do this, and also do a paragraph tag using a header tag. You know what header tag is? I already showed you. I think the first assignment I wrote was for you to write all the header tags in its grades: header 1, header 2, header 3. Screenshot it, post it alongside this assignment. On this particular assignment, you're going to write on your header tag is going to be, that means you have two screenshots to post online now. You're going to write Spread the Africa Bootcamp finally begun. You're going to say how excited you are to be part of this training and what you just learned today. Don't go and put our internet did not work at the beginning stage. Oh. Me and you people will fight if you try that. Just say what you learned today. I guess you learned a lot today. Say what you learned today in few words, and also encourage people to join by sharing our WhatsApp link. This is our WhatsApp link here. It's here already. But if this is not clear, it's also on the group. You can copy it from the group, and you do this particular one, this particular um part of the assignment I'm highlighting. I said using a paragraph tag to write this, not a header tag this time. And finally, when you're screenshot and you're trying to post it online, you can give tell them link, make sure you put link to our LinkedIn profile, which is tech. Is not the tech is not fully spelled there. It's just THTEH, because that was what LinkedIn made us to have. When we were trying to put the full name, it had some. I think the name was already used, or I don't know why. But then we're still going to go back to that to see how we're going to make it to be full tech, not just this. So this is not a typo. This is the way it is on LinkedIn, SpreadTech Africa. Then on Twitter, it is the full tech SpreadTech Africa on X, which is now on Twitter, which is now X, and then post it. When our page is being tagged, we are going to know. I believe the community manager is going to know the person, and through the person's handle, you're going to know that you did this assignment, and that is how you're going to be rated. I remember during the onboarding call, somebody was asking, "How are we going to be rated? How is our assignment going to be rated? How are you going to know we did this assignment?" This is how we're going to know you did the first assignment for the day one. Yeah. So this is it. Going forward, we're going to show you other ways we're going to know. So finally, finally, these are resources I need you to check out. Okay, during the course of your learning, maybe at the later today, or during the week, check WST School. WST School has a whole lot about HTML and CSS. In fact, WST School has a lot about JavaScript, SQL, Python, Java. Yeah, use the knowledge and use the energy that I've showed you here to go and learn. One good thing about learning is when you're learning and practicing is the best. Don't just read through and go. Try and practice it with them. Try and copy and write it on your own Visual Studio Code. Run it and see how it works for you. This is how you know that it is working. Not just reading through like a novel. It is not a novel. So I am so excited, and I want to say congratulations to as many as are in this live, and a very, very big congratulations to many of you that joined us from the first live that got obstructed, and you're still here with us. Make sure you like this video. Do well to share this video to reach other people who are not even in this boot camp. They might come across it in future. Also like and share this video. You're doing us well. We are giving you free knowledge, like I said, and we are also expecting you to do something for us by sharing us, sharing our links, also liking this video to reach wider audience. So yeah, without much, we have come to the end of this um of the class today, and I am sorry I have run out of time. Will not be taking any question. Will not be taking any question. Someone said question. You can give me one question because the back end needs to go live now to start sharing his screen, so he wouldn't have the issues I had. So, and then what is your question? Can you drop it on the chat? Drop it on the WhatsApp chat, please. Any question you have should be on the WhatsApp chat. So I'm ending this live now, guys. You can use Notepad. Yeah, you can use Notepad. Check online how to use Notepad. And yeah, you can use Notepad. If you have a tablet, you can use Notepad. So, bye, guys. If you are going to be in the back end, feel free to join. It's going to be starting in 20 or 30 minutes time. Ask, okay? Don't worry, we'll share a short clip on how you can do that, how you can download Visual Studio Code. We'll share a short clip on that and let you know. Okay, bye guys. I think the community manager already has Visual Studio Code installed. She's gonna put you through on how to do that. And if you have any question that she might not be able to answer, she'll direct it to me. So thank you guys for coming on board. Thank you guys for staying with us till this time. And also, if you're going to be part of the back end, feel free to join. It's very important. Okay. Yeah. So bye and see you in the back end track. I'm going to be ending this.